to Astrological Association interview of our speaker. Well, as we are approaching to our conference, I think, as you know, our room is already fully booked. Maybe have one or two places if you are lucky. If you really want to come to join us, please, contact us and then we will try to find you a place. But also, we always have a place online. And I'm sure after you listen to today's interview, you will really want to join us online or at place. Today, I interview my good friend, Tania Daniels. Hi, Tania, how are you?
Hi, Rod. Good to see you again. I'm fine.
Yeah. Tanya, you and I think we also met at AA conference, right? For
Yeah,
our first
many
time
years ago, actually.
many
Yeah.
years ago, and we are just chatting and then about what we learned from the conference, and that was the first time I remember, and we have a chat and we become the kind of a contact each other because you are genius. I have to say, you are a genius, or maybe from our or my Aquarius way, which means we really don't really want to do some boring things or something other people already talked for 10,000 times. We want something different approach, or we want something unique or original. That's why we all go to do something very weird for other astrologers.
You're
But
the weirdo, that's for sure.
yeah, we are. But
Yes.
my first
We are
question,
proud of
because
it, I should add. Yes.
we do. My first question, as I know you, but I think our audience would like to know a little bit more about you. How do you get into astrology?
Well, this was actually many years ago. Actually around my first Saturn return. And well, I found a book. Well, it was I don't remember the title. It was something about astrosophy, something like that. But it caught my interest because I found an interpretation of Leonardo da Vinci's Last Supper in it. It was a short article, like 2 pages, but it was all about how much astrological elements Leonardo da Vinci put into this painting. And I was not at all into any, astrology, esoteric stuff. And I just got my master in business administration stuff. So I was on a completely different path. But it caught my interest because I thought, well, if such a genius like Leonardo da Vinci is interested or was interested in astrology, then it interests me how he did it, why he used astrology. So basically, the week after, I found a course and started learning astrology, and never.
So interesting, because I remember that. I remember you wrote the article about the last supper, and then today when you mentioned
I
that,
never wrote about it.
I think you talk about it, right?
Yeah.
I get presentation. That's why I remember that. Yes, that was so interesting. So now again, this time you are coming back to AA conference, and this year we have the conference from the I think 28th of August to the 1st of September. First 2 days with the trip to the Space Center. And then the Friday, we have a workshop and then opening in the Friday afternoon. And you are the one of the key person to give the workshop.
Yeah.
So could you tell us a little bit more about your workshop on the Friday morning?
Yeah, well, the workshop is on declination. And it's actually one of the 6 topics of my book. It's about declination, latitude, the apogees, and the nodes of all the planets. And well, I will talk about declination. Let's say I will explain how the path of the sun is actually so important. As we know, the sun moves on the ecliptic.
Yeah.
But when it moves from on the equator or on the equinox, the sun starts having northern latitude, and it reaches its highest latitude on the solstice. And from then, the sun decreases in latitude until it reaches the fall equinox, 0 declination, and then it starts having southern declination and reaches the maximum on the winter solstice. And then the cycle starts again from the winter solstice. It increases in latitude, in declination. On the equinox, it becomes 0, and so on and so forth. But this declination is so incredibly important in astrology, and I have seen that many astrologers, also from with a long experience, are not aware of that. Because the separate, or let's say the equinoctial line and the solstice line divide the charts already into our 4 cardinal points. Everybody knows that. But how this influences how we should read the signs is not known at all. Let's start, for example, with the crooked and oblique rising signs. So we divide our chart if we look at our chart with Aries on the rising and Libra on the setting, we see, and we basically, I show you in the workshop how you can switch the chart so you can see the chart as the sun moves through the seasons. And if you do that, it will become like that you see, okay, the sun is actually increasing in latitude, in declination, from the winter solstice to the equinox and then to the summer solstice. And these increasing in declination signs that go from Capricorn to Gemini, these are called the crooked rising signs. So these are the signs that rise quickly over the horizon, which means in less than 2 hours. And the other signs that go from Cancer to Sagittarius are called the straight rising signs. So they rise in more time. So this information about this difference in rising times is incredibly important if it comes, for example, to orrery. So in orrery, it becomes really like plastic, like really, we can actually give really good examples. Let's say you want to plant a tree. So which sign would you choose? We are not doing house systems. We are just choosing signs. So which sign should you choose for planting a tree? Let's forget for a moment for the moon. The moon is important, but now we are talking signs.
So make them grow faster?
It depends which tree you want. Do you want a date? You want a palm, a date palm, for example? So I'll give you one example on that. So you would need a crooked rising sign. You want it quick. And of course, the palms are not known for their stability. They can move. They move pretty much with the winds. And everybody has seen photos from whatever the United States with
huge.
And you see these palms that stretch in the wind and move, but they are still there. They don't fall down. They can move in the range with the wind. That's not the same for an oak tree. Oak trees will grow straight. So you will choose a straight rising sign because you want a strong, stable, big tree. Or even vegetables, you don't need to have straight rising signs if you want to have a quick harvest. Straight rising signs. It depends. What do you want?
Wow, that is not the only horary, but also election, right? Election astrology. That is so cool.
Yes, also medicine. So you want to get rid of something. You want to definitely take it away of your body. Let's say there is a surgery. You need to get rid of something. What would you choose? Would you choose a crooked rising sign or would you choose a straight rising sign, and why?
I'm not going to ask answer because I want you to join Tania's workshop online or at person, because I really love this answer and I'm not going to give away. You please, if you want to learn this technique, come to join the unique Tania's workshop.
The architecture. Archaeoastronomy, and look how all what I'm saying is already built into stone since millennia. So it's not new information. It's actually the very foundation, or as I call it, the very origin of astrology.
I love it because I think I always thinking about, before I met you, I always thinking about all this declination was coming behind after modern astrology only care about that. And then when you tell me things Babylonian, I was like, wow, that is something.
Well, look at Stonehenge. Stonehenge is so important because we know it tells you about the solstice and the equinoxes, which is nothing else than declination. But we will also talk about the lunestices, which are part of the declination, which is the lunar declination, which are also into Stonehenge. And they open up to cycles, which is the nodal cycle, or the cycle of the nodes, because the moon reaches her highest declination according to her nodal cycle. And we can't give away more information right now, right, Trog?
No, please come to join us. If we already fully booked, so only thing you can do is book online, join Tania's workshop. It's going to be, blow your mind off. But I still want to talk about another talk. On Friday, you have the morning workshop, and I really encourage everyone, especially you want to explore a little bit more than the latitude, than the 12th sign.
I just want to say it will not be any mathematical or stuff. It will be just fun. Looking at stuff, we will look at we will look at many sky pictures. We will see how it works.
Oh,
so I love
lovely.
To explain things that everybody can understand. You don't need to calculate anything or you know about astronomy. You don't need any astronomy, just very, very basic skills. So that's everybody.
Yeah. And then on Saturday, I know it's a different topic, but I think it's also your study. Is you are going to talk about a very, very special house system from the Babylonian time. I still couldn't pronounce it correctly, but let me learn it, okay? Let me try. Octapopos.
I don't speak Greek, but I think it's octatopos.
Octatopos. Okay.
I think. Now the Greek will, say.
Before we recording, we just find out, because I also see that, and I just like, what is that? And then we have a very interesting discussion before we start recording. So could you tell us what is this house system, and what they can help us in the astrology?
Well, I am not sure if we can really call it properly house system. I think it is what I think it is, or it was meant as a division of the sky. And it has to do with latitude and declination. And I don't want to tell more right here on the video. It's a little tricky, but I will explain how it worked. And this gives a factual division of the sky in into 8 places, let's say it like this. I don't want to go into any house discussion. Please don't get me wrong. I don't want to introduce another house system or discuss which is more important or less important, the earliest or the latest. I'm not interested. What I want to do is explain what they maybe did at the beginning, and I'm following several authors here, and we know that Firmicus Martyrus mentioned this house system. We know that Culpeper mentioned it and partially used it for his decombitures, and I will explain that too. Hippocrates mentioned it and used it. Well, that was of course before.
That's why we
have said that before. So it seems to be very old, but my impression is that many of them heard about it and learned about it, but they didn't know where it came from. And I'm not sure if I got it right. I think so. I'm following other people here, but it is pretty plausible that it has to do with declination latitude. Let's put it.
Okay. It is very interesting because the first time I heard about these octatopos, and then some people tell me that's called the 8-house system, which means that you only have 8 houses in the chart. And I was like, what is that? And then as I share with you,
what Firmicus did actually, we can see this very good in Ben Dyke's new translation. He basically showed a 12-house system, a 12-house chart, but he only filled in 8 house information for 8 houses. So it doesn't make sense, and you can see it from Firmicus. He doesn't understand.
Because I want to share my view, because I was doing a comet study, and then I know that Tycho Brahe, he did that series comet study day by day, month by month with comet, but in his chart there's only 8 houses, and I was there. what is that? I couldn't read it. I cannot read it. So when you mentioned it, I said, let me send the whole information
like
to
a
you.
bomb, right?
Yeah, now I have to be there to learn how to read it now, so I can decode Tycho Brahe, how he delineated the comet things from these, octopus. Going to be interesting. Thank you, Tanya. You are a genius. I really, really, I mean, we are different, and I'm so proud of you, but also you really bring our community a very, very new approach and also inspire us. It's not just going to stay in the same old, So,
well, hopefully I will bring up new ideas, and then we can discuss them, and let's see. Sometimes our, new ideas are not comfortable because there's no material. It's not that 100,000 people have written about it and you can read it in so many texts. If you have a new idea, it puts you in a corner always. And I have done a lot of research on timing. I have worked on the Mahabharata lately because I've given a talk for India, and it comes up that the information, the astronomical and astrological information that we actually have is much, much older than we think.
wow.
Well, for example, in the Gilgamesh is an astronomical and astronomical.
Wow.
And we can study it. We just have to open our minds and accept that there is a possibility, not a certainty, but a possibility that our history goes far further back than we actually think it does. So.
Yes, indeed. Well, thank you, Tania, for taking your time out to share that your research, your study with us. And I really encourage everyone, this is new and this is unique. Not many people talk about it. And so if you want to learn a little bit more about declination and how to read the chart from the declination view, and with the quirk side or the straightforward side, or the different way from the Babylonian way to read that octopus chart. I don't know. I you have influence on me. I don't want to call it a house chart now, but this is 8-place chart. Please come to join Tanya. Come to join us at place in Hinkley Island, and also, or if you cannot make it, join us online. We still have a lot of place online. There's no limit. So come to join us, and if you really want to come to place, contact us. We maybe find you a room. Okay. All right. Thank you, everyone. See you next time. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye.